For the tide is changing. The intellectual battle against the woke brigade is being won.
Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're looking at celebrities who faced comeuppance for their behaviour.
It's unbelievable, and it's all about money, and you've got mainline celebrities going over there for huge checks.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Simon Cowell gets egged. Back in 2013, music mogul Simon Cowell found himself hit with a barrage of eggs during the Britain's Got Talent final. A classical musician named Natalie Holt left the backing orchestra to throw eggs, getting quickly escorted away by security. She later apologized for interfering with the final performance, but said she wanted to protest Cowell's control over the music industry, which is certainly a worthy cause. Years on, and Holt's career has gone extremely well, and she appears as a musician on many blockbuster television and film scores. Cowell's control over music seems to have waned too, with the advent of streaming, though he's still a judge on BGT every year.
I did actually send a tweet out yesterday saying I don't like eggs, and I really don't like eggs now.
Kirstie Allsopp leaves Twitter.
As far as games and parenting goes, we have to stop our kids playing these games.
A handful of times, celebrity estate agent Kirstie Allsopp has announced that she's quitting Twitter, usually after getting backlash over saying something bizarre. Throughout 2022, she received backlash for swallowing one of her AirPods, smashing her kids' iPads, claiming that young people would be able to buy houses if they just cancelled Netflix, and getting into an argument with Adil Ray about racism and menstrual blood.
This is the first time I've said this publicly. In June, I smashed my kids' iPads.
After the iPad incident in particular, Allsopp said that she was targeted by online trolls for saying she didn't want her kids on their iPads non-stop. But if you're wondering whether she's back on X, the answer is yes, albeit posting less often and with less relevancy.
There's a game called Fortnite and another one called PUBG.
Dreadful.
And I decided that we'd made all sorts of rules and all sorts of times when we've said you can't play them, all of those rules got broken. And
Gregg Wallace makes a career pivot.
I can see the complaints coming from a handful of middle-class women of a certain age.
After years of making lewd remarks about puddings on MasterChef, news that Gregg Wallace had been having complaints made against him consistently finally broke in the papers. He'd already been sacked from presenting Inside the Factory after similar allegations, but in 2024, the dam burst and Wallace was dropped.
I want to apologise for any offence that I caused with my post yesterday.
An investigation later upheld half of the roughly 80 allegations, and Wallace's TV career is in tatters, not helped by his deeply cringe Instagram videos in which he tries to dispute specific incidents.
Would you like to know the truth about the stories regarding me taking my trousers down?
Today, Wallace is trying to work as a personal trainer for the low price of £200 a month, and is still posting incessant and often baffling videos online while he threatens to sue Banerjee for discrimination.
If you'd like some help, if you'd like to discuss coaching, discuss some help, you can direct message me here.
Piers Morgan gets decked.
Now, our first contestant is someone with whom I've had a few disagreements over the years, but
there are countless people in the world who want to punch Piers Morgan, with Hugh Grant and probably Prince Harry chief among them, but Jeremy Clarkson is one of the few to have ever had the privilege of doing so. Back in 2004, the pair encountered each other at that year's Press Awards, and Clarkson decided to get revenge for Morgan publishing potentially adulterous photos of Clarkson in the Daily Mirror 2 years before. Infamously, he punched him in the head.
He punched me 3 times, and everybody thought this was probably worthy of some kind of honour from the Queen.
This was after Clarkson had also poured water into Morgan's lap on the final flight of Concorde, telling watching reporters and film crews that Morgan had wet himself.
and that if he worked for CNN, he wouldn't get such pitifully low ratings that his show got cancelled.
Graham Linehan takes the stand.
I'll admit, I'm not a great person to be in this conversation.
After losing his wife, career, and most of his friends because of his relentless addiction to posting online about a cultural issue that, statistically, most Brits are barely interested in, Graham Linehan found himself in court.
Right, talking about eugenics and comparing trans activists to Nazis is not going to make this debate less toxic. What you're doing is fanning the flames.
Over the last few years, Linehan has seemingly descended into madness, culminating in his trial for allegedly criminally damaging the phone of a 17-year-old.
Why do you think it's acceptable to call teenagers domestic terrorists? Oi! Oi!
He claims that trans activists have ruined his life, apparently forcing him to tweet hundreds of times a day to the extent his wife divorced him. He also claimed that the entire British police force had been captured by the trans rights activists.
It might be quite a lot of women think that they can speak for themselves, thank you, and they don't necessarily need Graham Linehan to come.
Britain's most controversial spa.
The initial construction was supposed to be a hub for his charity, and his daughter Hannah Ingram Moore decided to erect a pool, a spa, worth £200,000.
Throughout 2020, the nation was rapt by the fundraising efforts of Captain Tom Moore. Later given a knighthood, the 100-year-old man raising money for the NHS by walking up and down his garden. He passed away in 2021, but where did all the money go? Well, after his death, his daughter Hannah Ingram Moore started to face questions about whether the money from the charity she and her husband Colin set up was being donated at all.
Is that the foundation's money was used in initial planning application for a spa block. Now, I understand you've clarified that a bit by saying it's also going to be part of a Captain Tom experience with memorabilia.
This culminated in them building an illegal spa, which originally got planning permission because she claimed it was part of the charity work. After investigating, the council ordered the entire spa to be demolished, and they're now banned from being charity trustees for 10 years.
The publisher says that you signed that contract.
He signed the contract with Penguin Random House, and then I signed to say where the money was going on his behalf.
Liz Truss versus Lizzie Lettuce.
I was elected by the Conservative Party with a mandate to change this.
Whether she's a celebrity or not, you can certainly debate, but she definitely wants to be going on book tours and turning up at right-wing conventions over in the US. Not that anybody in America knows who she is, but for our money, she'll never live down the time she was beaten by shop-bought lettuce in a live stream run by the Daily Star. With everybody sensing that Truss's political career was about to end thanks to her spectacularly crashing the economy, the lettuce stream was launched. And then history was made when Truss did lose to the Lettuce, being Prime Minister for only 49 days.
I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
She later stormed out of a book event after a banner showing a lettuce appeared behind her. Gary Neville gets humiliated.
Yeah, but you know David Beckham, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, he's going, isn't he? Yeah. How much has he been paid? I don't know. You do know.
The 2022 World Cup was extremely controversial, with the 2009 FIFA bidding process making up part of the massive FIFA corruption scandal. But despite all that, Qatar went ahead and hosted the tournaments, which led to embarrassing moments for pundits as they condemned the Qataris' track record on human rights, and then took their money and went to commentate on the matches anyway.
I mean, you're commentating there, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm commentating there.
And what's the defence? Football term.
Lineker was also mocked for this, but Gary Neville turned up on Have I Got News for You? After a stern rant from Richard Madeley, Neville tried to avoid further scrutiny, only to get called out specifically by Ian Hislop. This was the least he and other stars deserved for taking that money.
There's another option. You stay at home and highlight the abuses. You don't have to go and take the Qataris' money.
Laurence Fox loses his deposits.
It's nice to meet you. What's your name?
What are you doing here?
Well, come and give me your next mayor.
After descending into bigotry following one poorly received appearance on Question Time, Laurence Fox has spent subsequent years trying to launch a political movement for similarly disillusioned Londoners. He's now stood on election more than once in 2021, 2023, and 2024. In 2021, he tried to unseat Sadiq Khan as Mayor of London, but got only 1.9% of the vote share and lost his £10,000 deposit.
Laurence Fox, we're here in Westminster. Can you be London Mayor?
100%.
Why?
Because everyone's going to vote for me and I'm going to be London Mayor.
The same thing happened 2 years later when he tried to become the MP for Uxbridge and South Ruislip following Boris Johnson's resignation. In 2024, he didn't lose his deposit in the mayoral election because he didn't fill in the forms properly, but did lose another £5,000 in the London Assembly election the same year.
Ben, in scaffolding, have you got a chance of being an MP?
After my 4-year stint as London Mayor, I will then move in there.
Katie Hopkins gets her recognition.
The recipient for the 2020 Campaign to Unify the Nation trophy is Katie Hopkins.
We could have put many Katie Hopkins moments on this list. Her getting mocked by Chris Ramsey, her getting sacked from LBC, or even the time she got detained in South Africa for spreading racial hatred.
Yeah. After months of planning, we had actors, dinner at the Four Seasons, flights, hotels, a trophy, cameras, and a top-tier racist.
But for this entry, we're going to talk about her Campaign to Unify the Nation trophy, given to her by YouTube pranksters Josh Peters and Archie Manners. They made up a fake foundation and rented a room in a hotel in Prague in order to pull off the trick, getting a photo of Hopkins in front of the C word.
Archie and I spent the entirety of the evening charming Katie, ensuring she was fully relaxed and happy as she dined on 5-star food and drank top-notch wine.
But then, she cemented her foul reputation by going on a racist rant unprompted, to the horror of all the hired actors in the room.
So she, I believe her name was...
Let us know in the comments which celebs we missed, and who you want to see us cover next time.